Salzburgring, the front row on the front there, on the left, as we look at it. Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt, the world champions from Great Britain, and winners, Steve, of the last 5 sidecar Grand Prix races.
That's right. Not only 2 very talented drivers and passenger, but 2 very nice people, and very glad to see them doing so well this year.
A good shot of Steve Webster wearing glasses for the first time this season, and not away to a particularly good start as they hammer down the straight here. A whole jumble, a whole mass of chairs, machines, all heading for the first corner. And 3, Egbert Stroyer, first man into the bend.
An absolute flyer from someone on the 3rd row. I'm not sure of the number, but he really went through. In fact, it could be penalised. Number 3, Stroyer taking a starting lead.
Alan Michel up there in 2nd place as these machines scream round that corner. Tremendous amount of noise as Stroyer leads. Biland, number 2, in 2nd place, and Michel up there with him.
These machines actually get around the corners quicker than the solo motorcycles. It's just they're not as fast in a straight line, obviously, because they're a lot heavier and carrying 2 people.
The Egloff brothers, number 5, making a move and challenging the top 3 there, and they had some problems on the grid before the start of the race. The mechanics and the pit crew working very hard to actually get that machine into shape to start.
Yeah, they unfortunately broke a clutch cable just prior to the start, but it all seems okay at the moment. Obviously, one of the problems with these fairly heavy machines is getting them off the line. I saw Steve Webster didn't get a good start, but he'd be trying to conserve the clutch. It's a heavy machine and a lot of horsepower to try and get rolling.
Tremendous amount of noise these machines kick up. So you head through over the start-finish line. 3 is Stroyer, 2 is Biland, 5 Egloff.
And they're bumping and twisting around. He just caught the curve there as he clipped the inside line there. But Steve Webster's coming through now after that pretty poor start, but he's actually on the charge, and I think he's going to be coming through.
5, the Egloff brothers, and look at the amount of work that the sidecar passenger has to do as he leans across right onto the driver's side of the machine as they hurtle around those corners.
Massive, great big wide slick tyres. In actual fact, they're the same size and the same sort of tyre as they use in Formula 3000. So an awful lot of rubber on the road, so they can brake extremely late, and they're very, very quick actually round the corners.
Egbert Stroyer making his braking a little bit early there, so he's taken by Biland, number 2, and Egloff, number 5, and Stroyer, number 3, drops back to 3rd place after that magnificent start. Well, the world champions, a problem there for them. It looks as though it's major, it looks as though it's terminal now. Always a telltale stream of gas coming out of the engine there.
No, something had overheated there. I'm not sure what it was, whether or not the rear brake was binding or something like that, but something had got really hot and they were trying to cool it down with some water. But if it was something like a rear brake disc, it wouldn't do any good having cold water put on it. It just cracked the system.
Well, it looks as though their race is over in the very early stages. 2 is Biland, 3 is Stroyer, 5 is Egloff. 5 holding down 2nd place ahead of Stroyer now.
Steve Webster's up and running again. I can't think what that problem was, but whatever they've done, they're having another go at getting back out on the track.
Machine number 4, you see in the background there, Frenchman Michel as Stroyer goes through. Biland now in 2nd position. Stroyer in the lead, Biland 2nd, the Egloff still 3rd. Over start finish again. It's Biland in the lead from Stroyer. The back marker immediately in front. We're on to the last lap. Number 7 is Zubrig with Michel holding down 4th place immediately behind them. So it's a battle for 3rd and 4th as well. But we concentrate on the leaders. There goes Biland, expertly putting the back marker between himself and the 2nd place man, Stroyer. This the last lap of a magnificent sidecar race.
Stroyer nowhere near enough to get the slipstream off them as they go up the straight. So Beeland has stretched out a few more metres as they climb up the hill on the fastest part of the course. 250 kilometres an hour as they climb up there.
Stroyer is past the back marker and aiming again to challenge Beeland. And Stroyer, it looks as though he's got a slight advantage in power, but has Beeland got a slight advantage in racecraft?
Yeah, it's Beeland's race as he exits his last few bends before the finish.
The passenger working overtime now as they come up to the checkered flag. There it goes. Great victory for Beeland. Stroyer in second place. Wait for the check on who's third. Michel has got past Zubrig, so a tremendous piece of work while we're watching Beeland and Stroyer. Michel heading for the line and aiming for third place. Back markers in front of him. Somebody shooting off into the pit lane. Michel from Zubrig, third and fourth. But the race belonged to Rolf Beeland from Switzerland, just managing to hold off the challenge of the experienced and expert Egbert Stroyer. Confirmation of the results. Beeland by 1.53 seconds from Stroyer, with Michel in third and Zubrig in fourth. Consolation for the world champions and twice winners this season, Webster and Hewitt, in that they achieved fastest lap. The standings, well, Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt still at the top of the World Championship table with 40 points, but only a point separating them now from second placed Kumanu, who had that good result this afternoon, finishing in fifth place.